coach, when you win 2 NCAA crowns and 12 conference titles, you use that experience to select your point guard, no matter what his age.
Dean Smith is the epitome of college basketball. He's developed a sixth sense in choosing freshmen to play pivotal roles. Last year, forward Antoine Jamison became the first Tar Heel freshman to make the All-ACC first team. But rarely has Dean Smith handed over the point guard role to a first-year player. In 1975, it was Phil Ford. In 1984, Kenny Smith. And now, in 1996, Dean Smith has handed the reins to Ed Cota, who's already showing tremendous potential, beginning a new era in Chapel Hill.
From the Dean E. Smith Center in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, the North Carolina Tar Heels, ranked number 14th in the country, meet the Panthers from Pittsburgh. Hi again, everyone. I'm Dwayne Stats, to be joined by Larry Conley in just a moment. Nice to have you with us. The Tar Heels starting lineup will look a little different tonight. Point guard Ed Cota, scheduled to be in there, will not start. Neither will Ademola Okulaja at forward. They were a minute and a half late to the pregame meal. They were in the barber shop. And Dean Smith has decided not to start those two. North Carolina comes in with a record of 1-1, a loss to Arizona, and the last time out, a win over Richmond, thanks to a spirited second-half defensive effort. And that defensive effort is something Dean Smith hopes to capitalize on this year to get back to that swarming, pressured defense, Larry, that's been so successful in the past.
Well, Dane, I think when you take one look at North Carolina, you think of one thing, defense. And Dean Smith wants to get back to those days of 1993 when he was forcing 18 turnovers a game. Look at the reduction in turnovers that their opponents have caused. Down to 11 last year, a club last year that he was really disappointed with, but he didn't have depth, and I think that was their big problem.
Yeah, and just in case you think that they've forgotten about the offense, a couple of sophomores by the name of Jamison and Carter are around to remind you that they have not.
Yeah, Jamison had a terrific year last year. You can look at his points this year. I think Vince Carter last year was playing out of position. This year, I expect him to have a much better year. These are two outstanding sophomores.
The Tar Heels of North Carolina will play host to the Panthers of Pittsburgh, and we'll be back with the opening tip-off and the starting lineups from Chapel Hill following this. In the Dean Smith Center, Chapel Hill, North Carolina, fans have gathered for this one tonight between the Pitt Panthers and the Tar Heels of the University of North Carolina. Third-year head coach Ralph Willard at Pitt, out of Holy Cross at Pittsburgh by way of Western Kentucky. And his starting lineup will break out this way. Vonteego Cummings, who was a great recruit last year and missed 9 games with a broken thumb, is in there to lead the charge. Dean Smith, his 36th year. Look at that, 852 wins, chasing Adolph Rupp for the all-time winningest coach. And a little different look, as we pointed out. Carter leading the charge, the sophomore at guard. Tyndall is in there at the point guard. And Charlie McNary, a 6'7" senior, will start at forward in place of Okulaja.
Got to get those haircuts a little quicker.
We are set to go on the opening tip, controlled by Pitt. Pitt coming in, no wins and 2 losses. This is Jason Mayo. Out front, Kelly Taylor swings to the right side to Cummings.
Tar Heels in the straight man-to-man defense. Good pressure. Type of defense we talked about in the open.
They swing to Mayo on the right side. He has some potential to be an outside threat, but they turn it over, trying to get the ball to the high post. Tyndall up for the ball. McNary out front. McNary picked up by Howard.
Good man-to-man defense by Pitt. Good trap right in front of the Pitt bench, and they got the turnover.
That's one thing, despite the fact that Pitt is 0-2 and they've been out-rebounded, they've been outshot. They have forced some turnovers. The problem is they've committed a lot of turnovers as well.
Ralph Willard told us today at the shoot-around, he says, you know, I've not been disappointed with the defense of my team. We just haven't shot the ball well, and we're not playing with a great deal of confidence right now.
Kelly Taylor, a redshirt freshman. Blount has the ball slapped away, and we have a whistle. And the first foul of the game. That'll be charged to Vince Carter.
Wayne, did you find it kind of interesting in talking to Ralph today in the conversation when I asked him about will you slow the game down tonight? He says, no, I don't think that's the answer. We have to keep on playing the type of game we want to play all year. Of course, they've had a rash of injuries, not only last year, but this year, too.
Now Taylor handling the basketball. Out of Silver Springs, Maryland. Swings it to the right side to Jason Mayo. Cummings. The Pitt turnover came when they tried to get the ball inside, and that has not been unusual for them in the first couple of games. Now Taylor takes it inside and puts it up. It's going to fall.
I'm not too sure he didn't get away with a walk right there. That looked like he might have had 2.5, maybe 3 steps. Pressure by Pitt immediately, 3/4 court.
North Carolina with a basketball. Jamison baseline, and he throws it away. Cummings at 2-on-1 fast break, and Taylor off the glass and in, and Pitt takes a 4-0 lead.
Just something Pitt needs, a little confidence builder. 2 baskets and a 4-0 lead. It's some hostile area.
And across the timeline, it's his Carter underneath McNary, lays it off the glass, won't go. Back up by Carter off the glass, and count it. And we have a whistle.
Well, what an effort by Vince Carter. Dean Smith has got to be pleased with this sophomore. A young man who was out of position last year, having played inside down in Daytona Beach, moved to the outside, but he can do that work inside. Look at that great rebound. Good offensive board. Got him on the arm as he started up. A little emotion there, too, huh?
Now Dean Smith sends Cota and Okalaja into the game.
McNary had his chance.
Yeah, yes, he did. Carter to the line, and he hits this one. He's shooting 71% from the line. That was a problem for North Carolina in the Arizona game. Overall, the Tar Heels hitting just under 62% from the free throw line this year.
Good matchup there with Cummings on Carter and vice versa.
Taylor right side for the Panthers across, and he throws it out of bounds, intended for Cummings. Second turnover charged to Pitt. Ralph Willard suffering through 2 terrible losses, just 37% from the floor. Cota. He's a 6'1", 20-year-old freshman guard underneath, and Jamison missed the dunk. Zwicker there to come up with the ball. Out to Cota. Cota lobs it up, and they misconnect. Jamison, the intended receiver on that one. So the turnover gives it back to Pitt. Cummings. This is Mail in the corner against Okalaja, and he'll jump it. It's good.
Pretty nice move. A fake to move back outside. Looked like the ball was going that direction. To reverse it, and went right back to the hoop.
Well, the senior, if this club is healthy, he's normally the designated gunner on this team, but they've got a couple of injuries, and it has really hurt the Pittsburgh team. Okalaja now with the basketball for North Carolina. They go baseline low, and there's a nice jumper by Carter. He has 5.
Well, I love the way this guy plays. Out of Ormond Beach, Florida, Daytona Beach Mainland High School. Great player down in the state of Florida.
Cummings, they try to go to Blount. It's knocked away and out of bounds. Blount sandwiched down there with Zicker and Jamison.
So I really expect Carter to have a breakout year this year. Jamison will continue to pick it up right where he left off last year. 2 outstanding sophomores.
Taylor handling the ball out front, and Okalaja shadows him out there. 6-5, Pitt leading in the early stages of this game from Chapel Hill. Mayo. Cummings out of the corner. It's not going to go. Cota starts the other way for the Tar Heels.
Good handle.
A move and right down the lane. Missed the shot. Back up and in and give it to Jamison. His first bucket.
2 good things for North Carolina. Cota handling the ball midcourt, avoiding the trap, getting it inside, and the follow-up by Jamison. North Carolina's got so many weapons, Dwayne.
Yes,
so many weapons.
This one broken up. Jamison comes up with a loose ball. Okalaja pushes it ahead. Carter, he hangs and jumps from 14. It's good.
Great
Carter with 7 already.
Great athletic ability.
Carolina takes a 3-point lead.
Pressure again by Carter on Cummings out front. Just goes to show you he can play the defensive guard out front if asked to.
Blount comes out to help. Low Howard. Howard finds Cummings baseline high off the glass, and they drop it through. It's a 9-8 game. First 2 for Cummings. Now the ball loose in the backcourt, picked away by Taylor, who converts it for two.
Well, Taylor absolutely did a number on Ed Cota that time. Picked his pocket, got it going the other way.
And that's one area that concerns North Carolina, the inexperience in the backcourt. They're hoping that Ed Cota is the answer. The ball loose, Jamison up and puts it up and in. Antoine Jamison has 4. 1-point lead for North Carolina.
I tell you, Jamison and Carter are a 2-man wrecking crew from about 8 feet in. They just don't miss that shot.
And they have all 11 points. Carter 7 and Jamison 4. As Carolina has this 11-10 lead. Contigo Cummings down to the baseline. Zwicker collapsed to help. Now Taylor out front. The ball loose. Jamison forced the turnover. Last touch by Andre Howard, the sophomore, and the ball belongs to North Carolina. Timeout. Carolina leading Pitt 11-10 at Chapel Hill. Carolina leading 11-10 with 14:20 left in the first half from Chapel Hill. We have a doubleheader tomorrow night on ESPN, tipping off at 9:30 Eastern when Texas Tech, led by Corey Carr, last year one of the best 6 men, he's starting this year, taking on George Washington, ranked 25th, led by 7'1" Alexander Gould and 5'4" point guard Shante Rogers. At midnight, championship game of the Great Alaska Shootout. Pitt and North Carolina at it tonight at Chapel Hill. Okalaja, the ball loose, and we have a whistle. And it's going to go against Pitt. Maktar Jai into the game, trying to come up with the pass. And the foul is against Mark Blount. That's his first and the second team foul against Pitt.
A little bit of a late whistle on Blount that time. I thought Pitt had the ball going the other way. Now the Pitt club goes back into a zone, matchup zone.
Okalaja. He's going to jump it. That's a 3 attempt, and it will not go. Pitt back. The rebound by Howard. Willard in the game. Kevin Willard, the son of the head coach Ralph Willard. Cummings. Bounce pass down to the sophomore Howard. Out of the corner for 3 and counted for Mayo.
Oh, Jason Mayo with a nice shot in that corner. Good ball movement that time by the Panthers. Back to a man-to-man defense, and North Carolina throws it away.
Cota's pass intended low for Jai. He's the 6'9" junior out of Senegal, and just back playing his first game in the regular season after missing the first 2. 5 North Carolina turnovers. Kevin Willard handling the ball to the baseline, goes into the corner. Mayo saves it, and Cummings comes up with it out front.
I don't think I've ever seen a pass like that on the baseline.
Here's a jumper, Willard. That'll be 2. It's not going to go. The ball loose. A collision on the floor. Mayo comes up with it. Now Willard, and he pops for 3. That's his first field goal of the year.
Exactly, Dwayne. He's really struggled with his shooting. He is now 1 for 9 from the field. A big basket. Maybe another confidence builder.
Down the court, long pass. Okalaja. It will not count. Forget it. A whistle on the floor. So the basket is waved off. The foul will be charged to Blount, and that's his second. He's going to leave the game, and Isaac Hawkins, a 6'8" freshman, will report in for Ralph Willard.
Well, that really hurts the Panthers. They go from a 6'11" player to a 6'8" player.
And another whistle on the inbound as Jamison tried to get it to the basket. And this foul is on Andre Howard. That's going to be his second. Pitt is without their 6'6" senior Chad Varga, who gives them a sturdy body up front. And without him, they are very thin across the front line.
Well, he was a guy that led them in rebounding last year. And when you're 6'6", 230, you've got a good, strong physical player inside. They desperately miss him. Ralph Willard today told us, he says, gosh, if I had this guy, he says, I could compete with anybody.
Tramon Williams in the game for North Carolina, and the ball is loose. A turnover. Hawkins up with it into the front court. Pitt with the ball in the lead. Cummings now Mail again. A 3 attempt in and out. Not going to go. And the rebound to Jai. Cota. Bounce pass in the corner, and the jumper's not going to go by Williams. Back up. Okalaja tries to put it. It will not go, but Jamison is there to answer. Jamison has 6, and it's a 3-point game. 16-13. Pitt leading. Now the Panthers will make another change. Cummings will leave the ball game. Vantigo Cummings departs. And Kelly Taylor is back in.
There's Chad Barga on the bench at Pitt. Sorely missed. Transferred from down in Richmond. This is a guy who's in his senior year, and he must play this last year. He has none left. I'm not sure they're going to get him back.
Kevin Willard across the court to Mayo. Looking low. Howard tries to move. Now Hawkins, and it's rejected. Jamison back up and in for Howard. That's Howard's first bucket. 18-13. Quickly to the bucket. Okalaja will not get it to go down. That ball kept alive and finally goes out of bounds, belonging to Pittsburgh. So the Pitt Panthers, leading by 5, will have the basketball. A timeout on the floor.
Well, after 8 minutes and 20 seconds of play, it's Pittsburgh leading North Carolina by 5 in Chapel Hill. But let's go back and take a look at probably the best player on this North Carolina squad, Antoine Jamison with the block. The leading scorer and rebounder for the Tar Heels. Can do it on the defensive end, too. I think he's had a pogo stick over there. Anybody remember pogo sticks?
Oh, yeah. The great leapers, both Jamison and Carter. Great leaping ability. Pitt shooting 75% from the floor. They're 8 of 12, shooting 37% on the year from the floor. So they are red hot to start this one. And they lead by 5. There's a pass broken up by Okalaja, out of bounds, belonging to Pitt.
North Carolina tried a little different look on defense that time. They tried to trap at midcourt. Pitt recognized it and did a nice job of handling the ball. Even though they lost the ball, they still got it back.
Cummings to Willard, right back to Vantigo Cummings, and he shoots it a little long. Williams starts back.
Cummings has really struggled with his shot this year, only shooting 38% in the 2 games they've played.
And this one up, in and out for 3. The attempt not going to go by Carter, but put it back up and in. So Jai has his first bucket.
As a Tar Heel.
To the glass, forced up, not going to go, saved, and Taylor will jump it for 3. Long again. Ball down, Cota. Off to Williams. Now Cota thinks, spins, Carter. Carter starts to take it in, shoots it to the corner, and out of the corner, counted for 3. Okalaja. And he's in the scorebook for the first time to tie the game at 18.
Ralph Willard said today in practice, if they're going to beat us, they're going to have to beat us from the outside. Well, North Carolina just tied it up.
Now Howard baseline, and he put it up and in over Jai. He has 4. So Pitt up by 2 here. Midway through the first half.
Pitt's back into a matchup zone. Trying to force North Carolina outside.
Williams, Carter. They find Jai, and they pass it out of bounds. So the turnover gives it back to Pitt.
Jai threw it away, but don't be mistaken about the fact that this young man hasn't been practicing. He's been with this club all year long. This is his first game action, and you just saw his first basket as a Tar Heel. He's made a few stops along the way, though.
Wake Forest and Michigan before North Carolina. Willard, Taylor. Pass into the corner. Cummings swings it back to Taylor from the top of the key. Not going to go. A tip attempt by Howard, and a push here coming against Jai. So the foul against North Carolina. Basketball continues tonight on ESPN at 9:30. Number 6 Duke battles number 20 Indiana. That'll be in the Chase NIT Championship from Madison Square Garden. And at midnight, semifinals of the Great Alaska Shootout when Kentucky, ranked 8th, takes on Alaska Anchorage. And over on the Deuce at 9, number 21 Stanford plays the College of Charleston. So a full night of college hoops.
Boy, did Kentucky look good last night or what?
Yep.
Looked like the Rick Pitino team of last year that won the national championship. And I know Syracuse is not that bad.
Here's Howard, tries to reverse it to the glass, not going to go, but it's tipped back in by Hawkins, and another whistle. Count the bucket. And the foul is against Zwicker, the 7'3 senior.
Watch Isaac Hawkins go on the backboard right here. Zwicker's out on the wing. Watch him come back inside and commit the foul. Hawkins coming up. Good, strong move. Zwicker on his back. Isaac Hawkins with a nice offensive board.
Pittsburgh giving a great effort tonight in the first half of this game. Hawkins misses this one, and Zwicker rebounded but has it stripped away, and now we have the held ball. It was Kelly Taylor getting in there. Taylor at 6 feet, tying up Zwicker at 7'3. And on the exchange, North Carolina will get possession.
Zwicker's so big he could have shot Taylor if he wanted to. Not with a gun, but shoot him into the hoop.
Here's Shammond Williams now handling the ball for North Carolina. To Okalaja.
Look at the zone. 3-2. It's a little bit of a matchup. A little spread right now. Pitt very vulnerable in the middle.
Out front, Okalaja. Here's Jamison. Denied the baseline. Here's a three-point attempt by Carter. And count that one. He's in double figures already with 10. He's coming off 20 against Arizona. Baseline and count this one. A quick move by Cummings. He has 4.
Oh, was that a quick move on that baseline? Nobody there to help for North Carolina on the offside. Pitt giving a good account of themselves so far here in the first half.
Zwicker out to Okalaja. Swings it across to Carter. Okalaja tries to go to the basket and a charge. That shot ultimately rejected, but a charge coming against North Carolina. And with 8:43 left in the first half, Pitt has a 3-point advantage. 24-21.
Ed Cota back into the lineup for North Carolina. I'll tell you, so far Pitt has played a very smart game. They've not turned it over. They shot the ball pretty well.
This cannot be the same team that lost Illinois State 69-50 and Navy 60-49. So they're not even averaging 50 points a game. They've committed only 4 turnovers so far, and North Carolina charged with 8 at this point in the game.
Not that Pitt's trying to slow the ball down, but they're being very patient, very selective in what they're going to do offensively.
Now Taylor, they're down to 6 on the shot clock. Out of the corner, Mayo, and he nails it. That's airmail. 27-21.
Ooh, very good.
Cota. Bounce pass Zwicker. And that little baby hook rolls off this time, but it's put back by Carter. Carter has a dozen.
Look how quickly Pitt gets down the floor, forcing North Carolina to retreat.
Taylor down to the corner. Howard. Cummings. A 3 attempt. Long. Howard keeps it alive, but it's Cota now down on the floor, but Zwicker's there. Now back to Cota. Cota front court, and Taylor strips it away. Cota grabs it right back, and now Howard is there to grab it. It's knocked away and out of bounds, and we have a whistle. The ball's going to belong to Pitt. Shammond Williams apparently knocked it out of bounds. It's Andre Patillo over there on the call. We have a timeout with 7:26 left. Pitt leading 27-23. Yes, that's a correct score. Pitt leading North Carolina 27-23. Tomorrow night on ESPN, college football regular season winds down at 6 Eastern. Number 9 Tennessee looking to solidify a hold on big New Year's Day bowl game behind quarterback Peyton Manning. They'll travel to Nashville to take on in-state rival Vanderbilt tomorrow on ESPN. Pitt hitting 55% from the floor.
Well, it's not like the Tar Heels are cool. They're shooting 53%. Points off turnovers is the big story. Pitt with 14. The Heels only with 4.
And 9 North Carolina turnovers setting up that. Pitt with the basketball. Ventigo Cummings. Jason Mayo. Cota with him.
Panthers doing a nice job taking care of that basketball. They just haven't turned it over against a defense that has not put out the aggressive spell that we've seen in the past.
Taylor missed a shot around Zwicker, and Carter is there to rebound for North Carolina. Now Cota. Vince Carter into the corner. Williams double teamed there and deflects it out of bounds. He tried to bounce it off Howard, but apparently it deflected and got a little piece of Williams as well.
It did. It went right off of his arm. A good trap by Pitt in the corner down there. If you're going to trap on a defense like this, if you're matching up, that's the place to do it in the corner. Williams had nowhere to go.
Now Williams out, and Ademola Okalaja returns. That's the 10th North Carolina turnover. Just 5 for Pitt. Ventigo Cummings keeps the ball alive out front against Carter. To give to Mayo, and a little jumper from inside the key, not going to go, but a whistle, and this one will be against Pitt.
Pitt's had several good looks at the basket. They just haven't been able to convert. That one was an easy one for Mayo as he went down the line, but Zwicker was right there to confront him. Anytime you go inside, you got to look at the 7'3" blonde-haired guy in there in the paint.
A foul on Hawkins, his first. Ed Cota. Jamison, the ball loose inside. Intended for Carter, who winds up on the floor, and Pitt comes up with it. Now here's a pass picked off. Okalaja headed to the basket. Mayo trails him. Count the bucket and a whistle and a foul.
Okalaja started celebrating at the midcourt stripe. He knew he had it. 2 steps out in front of everybody. Those long, giant strides. I don't know what Mayo was thinking about. He had no chance. Look at this. He looked over his shoulder, and it was nothing but down in the net.
So a chance to convert a 3-point play. That's Jai back in. Back to our Jai, 6'9" junior, as he replaces the 7'3" senior Serge Zwicker. And Okalaja goes to the line. This one will not go. He came into this game 1 of 5 from the line this year. And Pitt comes back with a basketball. Cummings into the front court. Taylor.
Tar Heels will stay with their man-to-man defense.
Hit up by a pair. Jason Mayo, the senior out of Forest City, Pennsylvania. Cummings. This is Kelly Taylor. Down to 10 on the shot clock. Cummings with a look. Puts it up and in for a pair.
Made it tough, too. Cota was right there on his left arm, and he got the right arm and up in the basket. Montego Cummings playing well in the first half.
He has 6. It's a 4-point Pitt lead. Low for Jamison. Off the glass. Not going to go. That ball is loose. It's going to belong to Pitt. Jamison and John, neither one could corral it.
Yeah, I think it went off Jamison's foot. He was in there battling a couple of Pitt players. Andre Howard was the guy that forced it off of his foot. Good work inside by he and Isaac Hawkins.
Cummings will get a breather for Pitt, and Kevin Willard is back in. That's going to be the challenge for Ralph Willard, to keep the Pitt team as fresh as he can. He is not very deep because of all the injuries. Kevin Willard from Bowling Green, Kentucky. Mayo to Howard. Here's a 3 attempt again, and Mayo converts this one.
Well, for a guy who's just averaging 6 a game, Dwayne, he is absolutely lighting it up here in this first half.
He has 11 points. So it's 32-25 Pitt.
Sometimes when you got injuries, some guys have got to step up. So far in this first half, Mayo has done that for the Panthers.
Williams takes it to the baseline. Hawkins closes. Jai back out. Cota inside the lane. That's not going to go. And Andre Howard covers.
Pretty good ball movement by Carolina that time. They just didn't get the ball to go in the basket.
Kelly Taylor. Mayo pops out to help him. Willard out of the corner, lets it fly and count it. That's going to be 3. So Kevin Willard with a couple from long distance, and he has 6. A 20-second timeout here with 4:07 left. And Larry Pitt has opened a 35-25 lead on UNC.
Boy, I really thought it was interesting in talking to Ralph Willard today. As we go back and watch this play, look at his son bury his 2nd shot of the year, a tray to give them a 10-point lead. He said, we're not playing with a lot of confidence. I'm going to tell you what'll get your confidence back when you're making shots like that. This entire Pitt club has played an excellent first half, a good game plan. And Ralph Willard, as you can see right there, utilizing the 3-point field goals. Already Pitt 5 of 10.
They were shooting just 16% through the first 2 games from 3-point range. 50% so far tonight. So the Panthers having the half of the year for Pitt so far.
Well, they saved up all their 3-point shooting for Chapel Hill.
Ed Cota with the basketball. Shamon Williams in there out front with him as well. They try to go to Jai, who loses it but saves the ball, and it's Cota who comes up with it. Now Williams
Nice
looking
pass.
Jamison off the glass, rolls away. Back to Jamison. He'll try it again, rolls off again, and Howard steps in. Now trying to save it. This is Taylor. He does. Now Willard. Howard on the right side. Taylor not going to go. And Cota clears the board. Back come the Tar Heels. Ed Cota The ball loose. Willard on the floor trying to come up with it. Okalaja moves to Williams on the right side, and he's dangerous. You give him a chance, and he converts his first three of the night there.
Yeah, Williams with a good shot right on the right wing. He stuck it right in the middle. Good ball movement again by the Tar Heels.
Kevin Willard looking low, and it's picked away by Jamison. Turnover number 7 for Pitt. Cota taking it inside, and that ball is intended for Jai, goes out of bounds, belonging to Pitt. So a timeout on the floor. We have 2:57 left to play in the half. 35-28 Pitt.
Well, still in the first half, the Big East is on top of the ACC right now. Take a look at Ed Cota turning this ball over. Their 12th turnover here in the first half for North Carolina. Dwayne, what that is a freshman trying to do something, trying to create something that is not there. Those 12 turnovers are tough for North Carolina. And Ed Cota right now not running the club the way Dean Smith would like to have him run it.
And the inexperience in the backcourt, a concern as this season is played in the early stages. They're hoping that either Cota or perhaps Williams will develop. Right now, the emphasis is on Cota. Turnovers a problem for North Carolina in the first half of this game. And a whistle as Pitt moves the ball, and we have a foul coming. This one charged to Andre Howard, away from the ball pushing, and that is 3 on Howard. So Mark Blount will report back into the game. Coming up at the half, the Delta Faucet halftime report. Steve Levy will be along with all the college football highlights and the top 25 score and highlights coming up in just a few moments at the half. 1-1 here. Jamison goes to the line.
Pretty good college football games today, huh? How about Virginia Tech? Big win over Virginia. They're a cross-state rival. Nebraska looked tough today, too.
Jamison misses. Okalaja tries to tip it, won't go. And the ball goes out of bounds, belonging to North Carolina. The inbound floats out front.
Pitt's changed their defense now. It's a 1-3-1. Let's see how North Carolina attacks.
Jamon Williams out front handling the basketball for the Tar Heels. Swings it to Carter. Jamison in the corner.
Look for the traps. You use the point and the wings on the trap in a 1-3-1.
Okalaja for 3, and he cans it. He has 8. Okalaja 4 out of 5 from three-point range through the first 2 North Carolina games. Hits one there to make it a 4-point contest.
That's the way you beat a zone. Get the ball to the outside and let the shooters who can shoot out there make them.
Cummings trapped out front. There to relieve him. Blount. Now Cummings inside will put it up. It's not going to go. A tip attempt by Hawkins rolls off. The ball loose on the floor, and we have a tie-up. Williams had the basketball down there, and Isaac Hawkins, the 6'8 freshman out of Baton Rouge, challenged him, got the hand on the ball. And on the exchange, Pitt will have the basketball.
Pretty smart play that time by Hawkins. North Carolina was fooling with the ball on the floor, couldn't come up with it, and Hawkins went straight down, hit the hardwood, and he grabbed Williams by the leg, but he also had the ball.
Taylor's out and Mail back in. The inbound comes out to Vonteego Cummings.
North Carolina in his own defense now. They'll do that out of an out-of-bounds play.
Willard pushes the ball to Cummings.
Crowd getting very antsy right now. They want something out of this Tar Heel group.
Willard swings it to Mayo. Blount in the corner. Out front Willard. This is a 3 attempt and count it. Kevin Willard another 3. He has 9 points tonight. 3 for 3.
That's a guy who came into the game 0 for 7.
And it's 38-31 Pitt. Okalaja down to Zwicker. Zwicker looking inside Jamison, and he battles his way and puts it up and in.
I'm telling you, from about 6 feet or 8 feet in, he and Carter are 2 of the best I've ever seen him making those shots.
He has 8 points, and it's a 5-point contest. Willard against Williams. Underneath all alone, and that's Hawkins for a pair. Isaac Hawkins converts, and he has 4.
Jamison having a discussion with Carter out there. He got picked, and nobody helped.
Jamon Williams. Vince Carter, this is a 3. It will not go, and Blount with a rebound. Long baseball past the length of the floor down to Cummings. Cummings now with 34 seconds left on the game clock here in the first half. Slows it and takes it out front to Kevin Willard.
Exactly. I thought right then, I thought Willard was going to have a heart attack over there. He was shouting 1-1. His club finally hurt him.
Now Mayo. Inside, Cummings will not get it to go down. That ball is still in play, and Mayo comes up with it. Here's a 3 attempt. It will not go down. The ball loose. This is Carter as the buzzer sounds, ending the first half. We are through the first 20 minutes here with the score 40-33, Pitt leading North Carolina. Now let's join Steve Levy.
All right, Dwayne, thanks very much. I'm going to tell you to stay tuned, but you probably weren't going anyplace anyway. What a surprise so far, at least to the half. 40-33, Pitt leading 14th ranked North Carolina. Welcome to the Delta Faucet Halftime Report. And coming up, in addition to college basketball, we've got college football, including the big game of the day, including D'Angelo Evans, Colorado going out at Nebraska, and Jim Druckenmiller as well, Virginia Tech, Virginia. That's all on the way as we roll on.
Welcome back to North Carolina, where the Pitt Panthers have built a 7-point lead. It's 40-33 with Larry Conley playing stats here. And Larry, through the first half, Pitt has to feel very good, number one, from a confidence factor. And number two, in the backcourt battle, they are winning hands down.
Yeah, nothing builds confidence like making shots. And we're going to show you two guys that did a lot of that in the first half. Take a look at Jason Mail on the outside. This young man was hot from beyond the three-point line, as was his running mate, Kevin Willard. These two guys combined were 6 of 8 from three-point range. And folks, coming into this basketball game, they were combined 2 for 14. So three-point shooting was a big story in this first half.
Overall from the floor, Pitt 49, North Carolina 48%. But look at the bottom numbers. The backcourt points, 32-15 in favor of Pitt.
I'll tell you another problem that really hurt North Carolina in that first half were turnovers, particularly those off of Ed Cota's hands. He had 5 turnovers, 5 of the 12 that North Carolina had, and it really affected the way they played. Ralph Willard very pleased with the way his club played in the first half. Maybe they've got a confidence builder to go on and play the final 20 minutes as well as they did in the first. Dean Smith, a rather stoic look right there.
The 5 Cota turnovers to go with no points and no assists. North Carolina with the basketball to start play. Okalaja down in the right corner. Cota handling the ball to start the second half for the Tar Heels. Taylor chasing him over the floor.
Hit it's open man-to-man.
And Carter with a little jumper inside from about 8 feet. Carter has 14. He had 9 against Richmond. He played only 9 minutes because of the flu, that coming off the 20-point effort in a losing cause against Arizona. This is Mayo.
North Carolina extending their defense a little bit now. Maybe to shut down Mail, you think? I would.
Cummings. Baseline. They go to Howard. Back out. This is Mail. He'll try a three-pointer again. Not going to go. And Jamison down with the ball for North Carolina. Cota. Front court. Okalaja looking low for Zwicker. Nothing there.
Well, North Carolina has tried to go inside, but Pitt just won't allow the ball to come in there.
Okalaja for 3 and rack it up. He has 11. Okalaja in double figures. He had 14 against Arizona, and now a 20-second timeout called by Pitt. So North Carolina has come right out, and they've trimmed the deficit, scoring 5 straight unanswered points.
Watch Ademola Okalaja. He can shoot the basketball from outside that three-point line coming into the game. He was one of their better shooters. He was 4 of 5 beyond the stripe. He now has had, what, 3 out of 4? He has had a terrific evening. Continues to shoot that three-point shot well.
Now the Tar Heels right back in this thing with these 5 points to start the second half. Pitt to pick it up with Howard doing the inbounding. Montego Cummings in the backcourt working against Vince Carter. Cummings pulls up, looks for some help. Blount there. Now Taylor to pop for 3, and that's a big bucket for Pitt.
You know what, though, Dwayne? That's a good move by them. Take the shot if it's there. Don't make 10, 12 passes to get the very same shot. He was wide open. He took it. He got it. Nice move by Taylor.
Here's Jamison from about 14, leaning in. No good. Rebound. Back up and in. So Jamison rebounding his own shot. moves into double figures with 10 points.
You don't block Jamison and Carter off of that board, they'll get a ton of offensive rebounds. They've done it so far tonight.
Kelly Taylor with the ball. Cummings trying to shake loose. Now gets open against Okalaja. This is Mail out of the corner. A little long from three-point range. Okalaja rebounding. Cota starts back for North Carolina. Okalaja moving inside. Over Blount. Going to roll off. Rebound. Back up and in for Jamison. Jamison with a dozen. He had 28 against Richmond, including 12 in the last 7 minutes and 22 seconds to help North Carolina pull out that game. Here's Taylor, and the shot is rejected by Carter. Saved by Cota. Carter starts back. Cota, long pass, 2-on-1. Okalaja up and in.
Here come the Heels.
Okalaja converts for two. Carolina takes a 44-43 lead, and with 17-11 left, Pitt wants to stop it. Pitt leading by 7 at the half, down by 1 with 17-11 to play. Ralph Willard has seen his lead disappear. He is down by 1. The last North Carolina lead was at 11-10 at the 14:51 mark of the first half. Pitt with the basketball. Panthers have led by as many as 10, now trailed by 1. Cummings floats it up, it's loose, and Cota comes away, but it's stripped by Taylor. Taylor to Mail, he'll pop for three, not gonna go. Taylor underneath in the battle for the ball. It goes out of bounds, knocked away, and it's gonna belong to Pitt.
We'll tell you what, how about the quick hands of Cota to come up with the ball on the steal, and then Taylor right back again to get it going the other way for Pitt. Two very quick defensive guards. While Cota may not be having a very good offensive game, defensively he's playing very well.
Mail floats it out front for Kelly Taylor. Taylor, the redshirt freshman. He missed almost all of last year with a double herniated disc in his back. Now Howard. Here's Mail. To Taylor. He goes low baseline, and it will not go down. Blount tries to put it back, and he is fouled. Howard missed, and Blount on the rebound tried to go back up and was fouled in the act of shooting at the 16:29 mark.
Blount got into foul trouble in the first half and made a quick exit and went to the bench for most of that first half. Has come back in the second half and played much better. Okalaja with a foul down inside as Blount tries to get it back. A couple here.
Second foul on Okalaja. And Blount will go to the line. He's 4 of 11 from the line and makes this one. Blount went to 7 high schools in 4 years. Wound up at Dobbs Ferry High School in New York. I guess that's better than the other way around. 4 high schools in 7 years.
Yeah, he actually committed to Massachusetts and backed out of it. In fact, both parties backed out. He decided to come to Pitt.
Here's a pass picked off by Mayo. Ahead to Willard, who puts it off the glass. It's going to roll and drop.
Well, Willard with a nice move. Good catch and a roll quickly. North Carolina back just as quickly.
And Carter with the dunk. That ties the game at 46.
Do not celebrate. Don't hand out the party favors. They'll run it up and get it quick.
Willard front court. A tie game. Pops it out to Blount. In the corner, Cummings darting baseline. Mail for three. Yes. Mail with 3, and it's a 3-point edge for Pitt. That's 14 for Jason Mail.
You can't shut those shooters down. They're going to keep launching.
Cota. Okalaja takes it down to the corner. Zwicker, and it's broken up by Cummings. Antigo Cummings picks it off.
Not a good pass and another turnover for North Carolina.
That's 15. Cummings high off the glass. Nothing there, and Cota comes away with it. Cota front court. He lobs it up, and they misconnect. Willard down with it. A pass ahead, down court, and Cummings converts. Antigo Cummings with a pair. He has 8, and Pitt is back up 51-46.
Boy, how about the comeback by Pitt? They had a run 10-3. North Carolina was going to bury him in the second half, and the Panthers didn't give up. They came right back.
Pass to Carter. Zwicker, open baseline. Jamison now. That ball goes out of bounds. We have a whistle here.
Watch again the defensive work inside by Pitt. Jason Mayo getting over in front to pick it off. The lob out in front. Watch Willard with this good catch. Boy, that was a terrific athletic play to come up with that. Here's the miss on the lob down inside, and Pitt gets it right back. Montego Cummings with an easy one in front of Zwicker. Boy, Pitt right back, charging. It's a tough glove. They're playing well tonight on the road.
His last foul against Pitt against Willard. Now Hawkins is back in the game. The inbound comes out, and we have a hold. And another foul. This one charged to Jason Mayo. That's his second. 51-46. Pitt leading North Carolina. Shamon Williams inbounding for the Tar Heels. Here comes out to Jamison. Back to Cota. Williams in the corner. Ed Cota out front again. Carter finds Jamison along the baseline. Nice bounce pass, and Jamison quickly to the bucket for 14.
How about that one long step straight to the hoop?
51-48.
Jamison's got so many offensive moves. Shows you how quickly he can get to the basket.
Andre Howard. Low Willard.
Nice ball
Cummings.
movement.
And that rolls the rim. Zwicker rebound. Cota back for the Tar Heels. Zwicker, Williams. They're going low again. Carter, fall away. Not going to drop this time. Cummings off to the races. 3 men back for North Carolina.
Nice pass.
Howard. It's blocked. Carter keeps it alive, and Zwicker picks it up.
Good defensive play by Carter in there.
Cummings. Here's Jamison, and he is fouled. A shot long, but Jamison fouled against Hawkins, and that's his second.
Kind of looks like Ed Cota may be slowing down a little bit with his penetration and making a lot better passes. That's a good look. Found the open man. Ball to the other side. A good offensive rebound. But Cota has slowed his tempo down a little bit. I think he's gotten himself a little bit better under control. Maybe that was the conversation Dean Smith had with him at the half.
Carter and Zwicker out for North Carolina. Okalaja and Jai back in. Jamison at the line for the Tar Heels. And this one will not go.
But I just cannot tell you how impressed I am with the offensive play of these two players, Vince Carter and Antoine Jamison. They have such a plethora of shots. They've got great outside shooting and very strong inside.
Jamison looking to convert his first from the line tonight. And is now 1 for 3. 51-49. Jamison will go to the bench to get a breather. Charlie McNary reports in. McNary, the 6'7" senior. Kevin Willard, the junior point guard, handling the ball for Pitt. And here's a pass picked off by Cota. He saves it. Or did he? No, he didn't. He stepped on the sideline in front of the North Carolina bench.
Timmy Higgins down on one knee, watching everything. You can't get by these referees. They see it all. Cota with a nice deal. Look at Timmy right there in the background. He's running right along the sideline. Look at Dean Smith looking down. He didn't argue with Timmy. Timmy's got good eyes, though.
Here's Taylor. Kelly Taylor and Cota reaching around. Andre Patillo on the call there. So Cota is charged with his first.
There's Phil Ford, one of the good, outstanding players, player of the year.
And you talk about continuity at North Carolina. Not only Dean Smith, 36th year, but Ford in his 9th. Bill Guthridge over there.
Guthridge is in his 30th year, and of course Dave Henders is in his 8th. Quite a staff that North Carolina has over there.
No shot wouldn't go down. Hawkins tried to put it back, but a whistle against Pitt. And we'll walk it the other way. That's going to be 3 on Hawkins.
Going to finish up that thought on Phil Ford. When he was player of the year in 1978, I saw him play about a half a dozen games. I didn't think I'd ever seen a guard that could play as well as he had. He was a terrific player. He's kind of passed that on, too. He's become an awfully good coach, a good assistant for Dean Smith.
A 2-point game tonight with Pitt leading. Cota. Okalaja out front. Williams in the corner, and the ball goes back to Pitt. The 17th North Carolina turnover.
Dwayne, that's just inattention to receiving the basketball. You've got to look the ball into your hands. He simply took his eyes off of it and went out of bounds. Williams with another turnover, and Pitts got it back again.
Montego Cummings, the sophomore out of Thomas, Georgia, working against Okalaja. Hawkins looking for Blount. Now Hawkins, Taylor again. And the ball stripped. Cota comes away with it. He's going to try to take it to the bucket against two defenders and draws a whistle. He missed the shot, but the foul against Pitt.
Let's go back and watch the North Carolina defense. While we may have maligned them a little bit in their handling of the basketball, this time they finish it up in the proper way. They draw the foul as Cota goes strong to the basket. He'll shoot a couple.
Foul charge to Taylor. That's his first and the 15th foul as Cota goes to the line. And hits this one. Cota's first point tonight. The 6'1" freshman. This one rolls off. Blount with a rebound. The Pitt lead down to 1. Pitt led by 7 at the half. Montego Cummings.
Pitt running a little bit of weave out front, trying to shake Mail if they can.
Mail down in the corner. Okalaja with him. Blount. They try to get the ball inside, and it's tied up. Jai in there to tie up Blount. Now Jai and Blount are exchanging phone numbers out there.
I doubt that. Interesting conversation. I just saw Jason Mayo go over, and Ralph Willard, his coach, said, look, don't get the ball into the middle. He's not ready to handle it in there. Let's keep the ball on the perimeter. Work that weave. Let's see if, in fact, they do keep it out of there.
Hawkins takes the inbound to Mail. Cummings inside the lane, drops it in.
Well, that's a nice move. Right across the lane, about 8 feet out in front.
And that's 10 for Cummings. He had 10 in the opener against Illinois State and 15 against Navy. Underneath, the reverse, put it up and in for Jamison. He has 17.
Hello. Boy, did that one get down in a hurry. Nice pass by Cota, too. His third assist.
A one-point game again. Pitt leading 53-52. Brown has it knocked away by Jai, and Carter's there to come away with it. Williams. Okalaja back to Shammond Williams. Here's Jai. Baseline. Not going to go. Jamison tried to keep it alive, but Cummings comes down with a basketball. Pitt with the ball in a one-point lead. Mayo. Okalaja again out there with him. Here's Taylor. Had a great first half from 3, and Okalaja has been tough on him here in the second half.
North Carolina simply switching when they go to the weave out front.
Taylor.
Jamison on Taylor. That's a real mismatch.
They're down to 4 on the shot clock. Blount underneath, and it's rejected under there by Okalaja. Now Williams. Front court. Okalaja. Looking underneath. Nice. Jamison, it's not going to go, but a whistle and a foul. Jamison fouled underneath. Mark Blount will be charged with number 3. And with 10:32 left in the game, 53-52 Pitt. Jamison will go to the line.
I mean, oftentimes when you're making a pass, the best angle from the top is to look to the blocks. That time, Okalaja made a terrific pass to Jamison, who has really got a game down there. He's pitched a tent on either side over there and just made a living down there against Pitt.
You saw the numbers for Jamison at the line. They have not been impressive, but that's about the only part of his game that has not been. He has 18 points tonight, including 8 rebounds. And converts both from the line this time. So Jamison converts them both, and Carolina takes a 54-53 lead with time on the floor, 10:32 left. North Carolina leading Pitt by 1 with 10:32 left. World Championship Boxing squares off tomorrow at 3:30 Eastern on ESPN with the WBO Junior Bantamweight Championship. Johnny Tapia, 38-0-2 with 23 KOs versus Adonis Cruz. Johnny Tapia. Also the 1996 Olympians Floyd Mayweather and Eric Morrell. and the pro debut of David Diaz. Back to action here with 10:32 left. Taylor handling the ball for Pitt. Pitt hitting 5 of 15 from the floor in the second half. North Carolina 8 of 13 in the second half. It's better than 60%.
Let's see if Pitt can come back again. They've already come back one time in this second half after North Carolina ran a 10-3 run on them early in the second 20 minutes.
Here's Cummings underneath and loses the ball. Jamison up with it for the Tar Heels. Cota against Cummings in the front court.
Pitt's in the zone. They're in a trap.
Now Jamison. Cota looking underneath, gives it right back to Carter. Not going to go, but Jamison misses, puts it back up and in. Antoine Jamison has 21.
Nobody there to challenge him. He just stood in front of there and just kind of went up on his tiptoes and laid it in.
North Carolina with the lead, but now to the bucket, Andre Howard. Howard with a pair makes it 56-55. He has 6. The 6'6" sophomore out of Overbrook High School in Philadelphia.
Home of the former
Wilt
player.
Chamberlain.
Yes,
that's right. Here's Carter. Not going to go, but Jamison puts it up. Back to the bucket. A little hook shot from underneath, and he shoveled it in.
I'm telling you, I talked about him pitching a 10. He's going to have to start paying taxes down there. A guy is just camped out, getting all the offensive rebounds.
A 3-point Carolina lead. Cummings. Andre Howard. They try to go low, and it's contested out of bounds. Williams prevented the ball from getting into Cummings, and the turnover gives the ball back to North Carolina.
Antoine Jamison getting it done from just about everywhere on the floor. Watch the follow here. Nobody to challenge. Zwicker tries to come up. Jamison says, I'll take it, and I'll take it again. Thank you. Now, once again, watch him come back again with another offensive rebound. A little different look over the shoulder. I'm going to tell you what, this guy's got great hands. A lot of people compare him to James Worthy. There have been a lot of players about 6'9" around here.
Carter out and Okalaja back in. Jamison, Zwicker, and Zwicker gets the dunk. Zwicker with his first field goal of the night. It's a 5-point lead. 60-55, and that's the biggest North Carolina lead of the night.
Tar Heels back into a zone. 1-2-2.
Willard out front. Cummings, they're working the perimeter. Now into Blount high post. Taylor in the corner. Blount swings it the other way. Okalaja knocks it out of bounds. We have 8:13 left in this one. Coming up next, the finals of the Chase NIT. It'll be Indiana and Duke following our game. That one coming your way from New York.
Two coaches who used to work together many, many years ago. Mike Krzyzewski's got his Duke club turned around, and Bob Knight looks like he may have his best team in 3 years.
Inbound to Blount. Cummings. They're down to 2 on the shot clock as he put it up, but a travel call. So the ball will go back to North Carolina. That's turnover number 15 charged to Ralph Willard's club. And we have time on the floor. It's a 5-point spread. North Carolina leading here 60-55 with 8:06 left to play. Tar Heels holding their biggest lead of the night at 5, 60-55. Inside the paint, North Carolina dominating. Pittsburgh needs an effective big man inside, and injuries pretty much robbed them of the inside game, and that's indicated by that differential.
And I harken back to the words of Coach Willard this afternoon when he said, if they're going to beat us, they're going to have to beat us outside. Coach, they got a lot of points in the paint.
And a whistle here as North Carolina tries to go inside. This one's going to be on Cummings.
Yeah, really in the defense of Pitt. Pitt's not been able to rebound inside. North Carolina's gotten a lot of stickbacks. It's been Carter and really Jamison. As we take a look at Chad Varga, one of the key figures missing from that Pitt lineup.
He was injured the first day of practice with a stress fracture in his right leg, and they don't know about his ability to come back. They're hopeful. Okalaja at the line converts to give him 14. Okalaja had 14 against Arizona and 9 against Richmond.
Pitt's also missing a 6'11" player, Gerald Jordan, who's been out with an injury. He had a foot injury, sort of an Achilles. I'm not sure how or why it isn't healing.
62-55. 7-point spread, the biggest for North Carolina. Zwicker out. Jamison returns. Pitt with the basketball. Kevin Willard racing through the backcourt against Williams. Howard flashes up front. Willard. Cummings takes it inside. Drops it off. Howard will not get it to roll. Jai with a rebound. Williams, front court.
Good patience. They didn't force it that time. They're going to set their offense. Hit right back into his zone.
Here's Williams for 3. He will not fill it, but back up and in, and Jamison has 25 tonight and 12 rebounds.
Well, that's the thing. Nobody is in there confronting him, trying to keep him away from the basket. You got to keep the guy away from the basket. He's going to be in the 30s if they allow him to get back in there like that. Easy shots off of missed opportunities.
And Carolina now leading 64-55. Jason Mayo. Mayo's had a man right with him every step of the way here in the second half. Willard. It was Mayo and Willard who really gave this Pitt team the lead at the half. Blount misses. Howard cannot corral it. The ball loose. Willard into the corner. Cummings underneath. Howard has it knocked away. Stops the clock at 6:14. And a foul against Okalaja. So it's a 64-55 contest. ESPN get late breaking coverage of sports news and highlights around the clock on ESPN News, the first ever 24-hour all sports news network. Get ESPN News by calling your local cable operator or satellite program provider. Howard goes to the line. The sophomore misses this one. He was just 2 for 3 from the line on the year coming into this game. Has another shot coming.
Well, it's been a while since Pitt has scored. The defense of North Carolina has been terrific.
Howard has another shot. And converts here. 64-56. That's the first one since the 9:36 mark for Pitt. Came at about 6:12.
Go back and take a look at Vince Carter right here, trying to maneuver up the floor. Boom! He runs hit the ball. He looks up and he says, "Ooh, nice shot." Should have put him in that boxing match. Blunt could handle those guys.
Yeah, that's right. Here's Carter across the court to Okalaja. Down to Jai. Little jumper partially blocked. Underneath, Jamison battling his way to the bucket. The shot would not drop, but he drew the whistle underneath there.
Have you ever seen a player more active under the basket this year than Jamison? I mean, he is all around this basket. If it's up there somewhere, he's grabbing it. 11 offensive rebounds so far for Antoine Jamison.
Blount fouled him his 4th, and Jamison goes to the line. The breakout on the sophomores for the Tar Heels tonight. 25 for Jamison, 16 for Carter, and Jamison, who had 28 against Richmond, closes in on that mark now. He has 26.
Wait, how about those 13 rebounds, 11 of them being offensive? This guy is so strong. Look at that upper body strength. 6'9", 222.
An all-ACC pick last year as a freshman. Misses this one. Howard away with it for Pitt. Cummings, now Willard. Jason Mayo and Willard. Willard with a bounce pass. Howard up and in. So Howard with a pair to give him 9. He had 8 against Illinois State, so this is his high mark of the year. The sophomore from Philadelphia. A 7-point lead for North Carolina. Carter to the basket, not going to go, and Howard rebounds. Kevin Willard back for the Pitt Panthers. Mayo, he's open from 3. Count it.
That's a big one. That's a big one. That can Pitt back within 4. Now they've got a shot.
That's 17 from Mayo. 65-61 at the 5:03 mark.
That's a
and
carry.
a double dribble.
Yep, that's
Turnover.
right.
Turnover number 19 as Williams gives it back to Pitt.
Boy, North Carolina just can't stand the prosperity. They're ready to put Pitt away, and then they turn it over again. Watch Williams right. He gets a little bit of a bump. No call. Then he carries it right there. That's a good call.
Cummings leaves, and Kelly Taylor's back in for Pitt. The turnover differential 4. 19 charged to North Carolina, and here's a foul charge to Shammond Williams. Williams first. So Pitt will have the basketball.
Dean Smith turns around. He's looking for some answers from his staff back there. Right now it's their defense. They need to pick it up a notch or two. Pitt has come back on him again.
Jason Mayo darts in. Howard. And a travel call as Howard trying to force his way along the baseline and split the difference between the two defenders down there.
Dwayne, Pitt's having success on the perimeter. They need to keep the ball out there. If they go inside, make it quick to the basket and get it back out.
Jamison. Down in the corner. Okalaja trapped there. And now a whistle. And the foul against Kelly Taylor. That's his second.
Once again, watch the trap in the corner. You can see Pitt trying to get over there to do something. Mail's right there. There's the hook right there. Good call.
They posted the foul on Taylor, but I wonder if it shouldn't have been on
It was Mail and
Mayo.
Mail and Hawkins.
It should have been on
players
Mayo.
That were over there.
Yeah, and now they've corrected it. It is on Mail now. Yep, they initially posted it against the wrong player, but it was Mail who was over there. Okalaja at the line and converts this one. He has another one. 66-61. That's 3 on Jason Mayo.
Young man from Berlin, Germany, via Lagos, Nigeria, having another good evening.
Now Williams departs. Zwicker's back in. Cummings returns, and Howard departs for Pitt. Okalaja with 16 points tonight has another shot on the way. And he converts it. A successful trip to the line for Okalaja. 67-61.
Every possession now important for Pitt. They're down by 6. They've made 2 comebacks so far. Can they make a third?
They swing the perimeter. Mail.
North Carolina's gone to a zone. 2-3.
Kelly Taylor on the outside. Cummings in the corner. Taylor. Mayo flash through. Now he'll pop from 3. Partially deflected. Carter got a hand on it. Cota back for North Carolina. Inside the lane.
Nice.
Drops it off. What a pass. And count it for Jamison.
That's great for Ed Cota. After having such a poor first half, for him to turn around and make a pass like that gives this club an 8-point lead. Ed Cota with a nice pass.
69-61 North Carolina with 3:45 left. 3:45 left to play from the Dean Smith Center in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. North Carolina now leading by 8, and Pitt with a basketball. Kevin Willard, the junior guard. Kelly Taylor. Pitt led by 7 at the half. Mayo swings it back out. Taylor will take a 3-point shot. It's not going to go. Taylor battling toward the corner and is pushed out. So the ball will go to Pitt.
Wait,
Jamison's going to be charged with a foul.
Watch what happens here, though. Watch Cummings. He pushes right here, which forces Jamison to go into the player, causing the foul.
69-61 Carolina.
Tar Heels have forged into an 8-point lead here in the second half. Watch the play of Ed Cota. This is what Dean Smith won from his freshman point guard. Nice delivery of the pass. And the recipient, the man who's done it all night long, Jamison, just lays it off the glass. Talk about first-year phenom forwards here at North Carolina. Billy Cunningham, 22 points a game as a freshman. Worthy, Perkins, Stackhouse, Jamison. Jamison in awfully strong company. I'm going to go back, correct myself. When Cunningham was playing, freshman couldn't play. That was his first year as a player, and look at all of these retired jerseys, and Jamison's will be up there before he gets out of here.
An explosive rebounder and big-time scorer. The inbound for Pitt all the way to the backcourt to Kevin Willard. 69-61 Carolina. Willard spinning inside, and Cota blocked it but also pushed it. So Cota's charged with his second foul.
First activity we've seen out of Willard tonight in the second half. He had a great first half.
The timeout breakout. Pitt with 1 full, Carolina with 2, and North Carolina with 2 20-second timeouts left. Zwicker leaves. Williams back in. So North Carolina with Cota and Williams in this lineup. And Willard's at the line for a pair. This one will not drop.
Dad encouraging son right now. Kevin stepping to the line with his three field goals in the first half. He was 3 of 3. And he missed both of them.
Jamison got rid of it, falling. Cota up with it, and now a foul. Cota was fouled. Willard was caught reaching around him. So Willard reaching in after missing 2 free throws.
Foul of frustration. How many times have we seen that over the years? Dad with a very pensive look right now. Dean Smith reaching for Serge Zwicker, giving him instructions, trying to get him back in the game.
And Cota goes to the line with a chance to make it a 10-point game, so it could have gone 6. Pitt failed to connect at the line, and now they give North Carolina a chance to open a 10-point lead. But Cota misses the first of 2. He's an 82% shooter coming in to this game through the first 2 from the line. North Carolina 10 of 16 from the free throw line tonight. And he missed them both. How about that? The ball stripped, picked up to the bucket. Jamison, and he is fouled. And out of all of that, it again was Jamison who came up with it. Count the bucket, and he'll be going to the line. So it is a 10-point lead for North Carolina. Jamison now with 30 points.
Montego Cummings trying to get in there to draw the charge. No way. Antoine Jamison avoided it. Chance now for a 3-point play. Zwicker, who was coming in just a few minutes ago, and Dean Smith changed his mind, now has him in the lineup.
Zwicker back in for Carter. And Jamison goes to the line. Jamison converts it. So a big night for Jamison. He has 31, and that ties his career high. 72-61 North Carolina. Cummings, now Willard from 3. It will not go. That ball loose out front. Tipped into the front court at 2-on-1. Jamison trailing up and in. And Cummings was there to contest it, and he commits the foul. So a career night in the scoring department for Antoine Jamison, the sophomore out of Charlotte, North Carolina. He spent a good time of his childhood in Shreveport, Louisiana.
Ed Cota with, again, a good pass inside, and Jamison right there to catch it. I'll tell you what, Jamison better take Cota out for dinner tonight.
Now Willard leaves, and Andre Howard back for Pitt as Jamison goes to the line. .34 points for Antoine Jamison.
Cota having a good second half. After a very average, if not poor, first half.
Noah Taylor. And Cummings just lost the ball out front under pressure from Cota. And Cota takes it in off the glass. It's good. 77-61. So North Carolina here with a little better than 2 minutes to go, pulling away after Pitt had led by 7 at the half. So it has to be a disappointing finish for Pitt. After leading by 7 at the half, they trail 77-61. And tonight at Chapel Hill, with 2 minutes 22 seconds left to play, North Carolina leading 77-61 after Pittsburgh gave North Carolina all they wanted and more in the first half. Antoine Jamison has stepped up with a career scoring night.
North Carolina back into his zone defense. Pitt has really struggled from the outside in this second half.
Now Jared Lockhart in the game for Pitt. Taylor out front, bounce pass to Cummings. Cota there with him as Cummings tries to spin away. Taylor takes it inside, and about a 15-footer will not go, but Jamison with another rebound. It has been Antoine Jamison. He has 15 rebounds. And now with 1:49 left, North Carolina with the basketball.
Cota's going to hold on to the basketball. He's not going to go anywhere with it. Taylor commits the foul, the push from behind.
Stopping the clock at 1:41. Pitt coming in 0-2 with losses to Illinois State and Navy when they failed to score more than 50 points. 50 against Illinois State and 49 against Navy. 61 on the board tonight against North Carolina. The shot by Cota is good. North Carolina losing, as you know, to Arizona 83-72, and then defeating Richmond 86-75, but they trailed 61-55 with 10 minutes left to go in that game, and really trailed halfway through the second half of this one before opening this game to a 78-61 advantage now. Cota misses Wicker. Back up, has it rejected by Blount. Howard finally comes up with a basketball. Cummings to Taylor. Taylor, top of the key to Blount. Lockhart will let it fly. Too long. Zwicker there.
You know, Dwayne, North Carolina's going to go away with a win here tonight to push them to 2-1. But for 35 minutes, Pitt played them just toe-to-toe. I think they just got worn down. A much more talented club came out here ready to play in the second half, and they just wore the good Pitt team down after Pitt had that good 6-point lead.
Ball knocked away on the right side, and a look at the Pitt bench over there with Ralph Willard.
That's a little sparse over there, I want to tell you. There aren't a lot of players over there he can use.
This has to be a confidence booster for Pitt after the first two outings. Cota. Zwicker comes out. Under a minute to play. Jamison tries to go to the basket, and it would not go down for him. Andre Patillo in there just in case, and Jamison says, I'm not upset. Disappointed that that one didn't go down, but not upset with anybody.
Nice pass. Maybe James is a little upset that Blount was right there. Blount tried to block the ball. He fouled. James with a chance to add to his 34 points.
Now, Okalaja departs. Terrence Newby, a 6'2 freshman, enters the game. Jamison with this big night, 6 of 9 from the line. Blount departs. Hawkins back in for Pitt, and Jamison will go to the free throw line with 34 points, and he makes it 35. He has 35 of the 79 North Carolina points tonight. Jamison will get this one to drop. Big night for Antoine Jamison, the 6'9 sophomore. He's going to depart in favor of Charlie McNary. 36 points tonight for Jamison, representing a career high. 15 rebounds to go with the 36 points.
Dwayne, you know, we talked about Pitt being proud of their performance. How about the way North Carolina came back after being down? Whatever they said to them at halftime, they shut down the turnovers, really took much better care of the basketball and got it where they needed to get it in the hands of the right man, and that was Antoine Jamison.
Lockhart's shot would not go down. Vasco effed him off in there, and the ball deflected out of bounds, belonging to Pitt. Cummings floats it out front for Taylor. Taylor puts it up, not going to go. Effed him off with the rebound. Newby. There's Frederick underneath McNary. It's not going to go down. Effed him off back to the glass. It's good. 82-61 here with just 15 seconds to play. North Carolina winning, going away with this one. And the jumper's not going to go. Howard keeps it alive. Taylor He'll pop it. This is a 3 attempt. It's no good at the buzzer. And North Carolina pulls away to win this one. 82-61 the final. North Carolina goes to 2-1. Pitt 0-3. For Larry Conley, I'm Dwayne Statz. We'll go to Steve Levy now. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. From Chapel Hill, the final, North Carolina 82 and Pitt